Welcome to Lattes and Llamas presents a double knitting bind off. For this video, you'll need double knitting ready to be bound off, a crochet hook or tapestry needle, and a pair of scissors. Let's get started. The first step is to cut one of the two strands from your double knitting. I recommend cutting the non-dominant color for this technique. Whichever side is facing you when you bind off, the color that you would be knitting with is the dominant color for that side. On my swatch, I'll cut the navy yarn. Next, I'm going to tie that cut yarn and my working yarn together into a snug little knot right next to my needle. Don't overthink this step. You don't need to worry about what kind of knot to use, just tie a secure knot. Don't worry if your knot shows on the edge of the fabric. In a few minutes, I'll show you how to make it disappear completely. Next, I'll work my bind off through a series of knit two together and slip one. The first step is to knit two together through the blue purl and the yellow knit. This first stitch can be a little bit tough because they're very snug due to having tied the knot. But jam your needle in there. You'll want that first stitch to be nice and secure on your bound off edge. Knit through the two together, then slip them both off of the needle. Next, I'll repeat that step with the next pair of stitches. I'll knit together through the purl and the knit, knitting them as if they were a single stitch, slip them off of the needle. Then I'll use the tip of my left needle to grab that first stitch on my right needle and pass it over the second one. I'll repeat this down the remaining stitches. First knitting two together, slipping them off, and then passing the first stitch over the second. Continue until there's only one stitch left on your needle. Now that I've reached my last stitch, I'll pull on my needle to open up that loop. The goal here is to just have it loose enough that it's not going to come undone and I can slip it over my finger to hold it. Cut your working yarn, leaving yourself enough tail to thread through a tapestry needle or catch with a crochet hook, and thread that tail through the loop of your last stitch. Pull to secure. I like to pinch that edge stitch while I pull to keep it from pulling the rest of my bind off too tight. Congratulate yourself, you have bound off all of your stitches. Time for a llama life hack. There's a lot to love about double knitting. I love that you have two right sides and you don't have to decide which one to show. Most importantly, I love not weaving in ends. So now I'm going to show you how to get rid of those pesky ends without ever weaving in a single one. I'm going to show you end management using the tails from my cast on, but you can do this with any ends on your double knitting. I'm using a crochet hook with a pointed edge. You could also use a tapestry needle. Insert the crochet hook into the piece, grab the ends, and pull them through, bringing them out through any random center stitch on your work. You want to try to grab them as close to that knot as possible and pull them to the inside of your work. Give everything a little tug to smooth it out, and then snip the ends that are coming out of the center of your work. And voila! Llama problem solved.